We tried to do that with this tour, so we just come out and play song after song with little banter. It's punishing, a lot of energy. Igor is doing great. He's actually studied Alex's vocals, and like I said, we have the original samples, we have the original backdrop too. Unfortunately, a lot of the clubs we are playing this time out are so small that we can't use the backdrop, but hopefully we'll use it tonight. You guys played Victoria last night, and I see that the promotional material for the Victoria gig censored the original Point Blank album cover. It was an incredibly striking and confrontation album cover at the time, and clearly from last night's poster, it hasn't dulled in its intensity. What was the impetus behind you using this photo as the cover? We were looking at the Rage Against the Machine album cover, and we wanted something like that, shocking and real, black and white, hopefully, like looking at old Discharge albums, records like Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing, or old crass imagery. And then we came across the Rage Against the Machine album cover with the monk on fire, and we loved it. So we told Roadrunner we want to do something kind of like that. So they got a hold of this company, Associated Press or something like that, and they sent us 200 pictures, a lot of which were pictures. One of the pictures was that, and when me and Alex saw that, we were like, that's the one. Fuck yeah. I mean, that's perfect. With a name like Nabom, it is perfect. The cool thing is that we found out on the back of the photo, it explains the picture, and it says, this is a Vietnamese lady being interrogated by a Marine, and the gun pointed to her head, although she did not get shot and she did not die. So that made us feel a little better. But I can see the shock. We kind of went for that. Kind of like an Alice Cooper or Kiss shock value, but a more punk rock, same kind of idea behind it. And then you look at the cover and you're like, what the fuck, I got to listen to this. I wonder if an album cover like that, or say a band like System of a Down, would get off the ground nowadays. It seems like a lot of people are a lot more sensitive these days in heavy metal. I don't know, man. I'm old school. That's why I wrote stuff like Promotive, fuck all the politics. I think the reality is people need, now even more than ever, to see this shit in order for it not to happen again. That's my take on it. We've got to look at images like this, so hopefully that it won't happen again. But we've got to see it and not turn the face the other way and pretend it didn't exist. It did exist. War is a fucked up thing. It's hard, man. It's beyond comprehension. The idea was to base based the cover on the band's name on the sonic power that was on the record. It wasn't my idea to call the project an album originally. That was all Alex. And I asked him, what the fuck is a nail bomb? And he explained that that's what the IRA does. 북아일랜드. So that when the bomb blows up, it does a maximum damage. So to me, that describes our sound. That's how I feel. Like when I play Wasting Away, it feels like that, like a nail bomb is exploding. Maximum damage. So yeah, I don't care much for being politically correct. Or even like the whole Phil Anselmo thing with the Nazi shit. Because of the internet, it becomes like everything you do is under the microscope, so it's like you got to be more careful. I just try to live life the way I always do. I love metal. I love playing. I don't want to change my lifestyle, but it makes you wonder sometimes, like about people. Anything you do is an instant. A million people are taking about it and judging everybody. That's definitely the new paradigm in the age of instantaneous information. I mean, I love the internet because I get to scope out new bands on Spotify and Bandcamp, and it's so much easier to search out new bands on those platforms. But then you get a lot of the trolls who are out there just shit talking people. Yeah, I agree. When I was recording the last Cavalera conspiracy album, and I wanted to get pissed off one day because I needed to get real mad in the vocal session we were doing for Judith's period. I read all the bad shit about me in internet comment, and the producer was laughing at me like, Max, this is insane. I was just reading all these shitty internet comments, stuff like, Max, you're a piece of shit. You can't even play guitar. Max, you look like a bum. Max, you look like you haven't showered in 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, keep reading. And then I went in the vocal booth and just fucking went for it. And Judas Barrier came out of that. Well, man, that's all I've got for now. Thank you for coming back to Vancouver with this tour. No problem, man. Enjoy the show tonight. We got the whole gamma flow things going on stage. Gas mask and all. Hopefully we can do the backdrop. You know, you guys have got a really good metal scene in Vancouver. It's true, not a ton of black metal in our scene, but some solid bands for sure. Yes, but you guys have Blasphemy. Arthur Rizk, who produced the last Cavalera conspiracy record, was like, Max, you got to check out Blasphemy. And he played it for me. And I was like, this is insane, man. And those guys were doing it in like 1984. My tape recorder ran out at this point, but Max, as he signed my LP of Arise and posed for a selfie, went out to expose his love of local band Mitochondrion, even asked me if the guys were in town, as he wanted to invite them to that night show, but alas, they were on tour in Europe, so it was not to be. Thanks to Max for his time, and to Gloria Cavalera for the opportunity. Interviewed by Kyle Hacott, vocals, Hex Reaper, the band in Vancouver, Canada, and he did freelance Hacott talker of All Things Matters, and my Facebook friends. Thank you for the reference and permission to use it. Kyle Hacott. Thank you. 감사합니다.